The World Health Organization has officially declared the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, known as COVID-19, a pandemic.
When it became apparent what was going on, to me, it was very obvious that if students were to go home for Pesach, they would not be able to come back. I just said it's terrible. If guys finish their Zman in Adar, that would be chaval. It would just be a terrible thing. I had traveled back from America at the end of February or beginning of March, so I was already somewhat sensitive to the COVID-19 issues. I realized that if we waited to Rosh Chodesh Nisan, it might be against the law to get a group of people together, to get the guy who has to come out and help us finish the matzahs to put together the entire thing. And I realized we have to do it as quick as we can. Purim was on a Wednesday, so we baked the Monday after Purim.
There are no words to describe matzah baking. From start to finish, energy everywhere. You never realize how hard it is and how much you appreciate matzah until you bake it.
One of the students in Yeshiva, the morning after Purim, tells me my father made a reservation for me to go back to the States this Sunday. It was the first time I think it even occurred to me people might end up leaving early. And I realized that this might start happening. What should the guys do?
Definitely the most difficult decision to make. Taking the responsibility not only of your own health, but you're taking the responsibility of the health of all of the guys in Yeshiva.
So immediately that Thursday at Mincha, I gathered the Yeshiva together. I told everybody that if you go in for Pesach, odds are you will not be able to come back to Eretz Yisrael, which means that your year in Eretz Yisrael will have landed in Adar.
You have to decide, what are you going back to?
I decided to stay because I felt like being in an environment with my friends where I can learn with them and be around most of my rebbeim would be better for me than being at home locked in my house.
I want to be in a learning environment, is what it comes to.
The way I see it, the time that I have in Yeshiva is the best option that I'm ever going to have. So why would I want to lose out on any of that time?
I felt that we could do the things that were necessary to keep everybody safe. I was in touch with the governmental agencies, particularly through Masa, which allowed us to stay open under the format which we did, which is potentially quarantine the entire yeshiva. No one could ever leave campus. We would limit the exposure that rebbeim coming in would have, and in doing this, they'd be able to continue learning, they'd be able to stay for the Zman after Pesach, and thank God, in retrospect, all of that worked out.
Overall, I know that there's quite a few people in this building that I will keep in contact for the rest of my life due to this quarantine.
Almost every single parent was completely on board.
For themselves, they were a little bit disappointed just because that would be more time until they see me. But aside from that, they were very happy for me that I would get the experience to stay here.
The energy in the building was good. The energy in Yeshiva was great. The guys are speaking to friends back in the States who were alone in the basement of their house, not seeing anybody. And here they had a chevra. People weren't just learning together, weren't just davening together. Guys really were good. They were here to learn, and it was great. The Zman finished very, very strong. And the guys committed to stay through Pesach.
After Purim, the learning is next level.
And now it was 2 weeks. We're coming up on Rosh Chodesh Nisan.
So quarantine has been a little difficult.
We're going to have to do something for the end of Zman.
The Sunday, the week before Pesach, we would find a place.
The best place, not just a place.
Where they could quarantine as a group, which would be a nicer environment.
And I think we did very well, choosing a great place overlooking the ocean.
And during that week, they had some learning in the morning, and they had a shir from Rav Shaftel on Zoom on this massive LCD TV, so it's like he's standing in the room. He gave them shir every day. And the rest of the time, not only did they get to relax and enjoy each other, you were still in yeshiva, but you were there in a way which was relaxed and good.
I viewed it as a real gift and a real privilege. There was a pool, there was just tons of open space. There was even an indoor elevator. It really was vacation-esque.
Just chill with all the guys there.
We were exactly 10 people, and we needed everyone to have the minyan.
It allowed everybody to be able, I think, to survive the entire experience all the way through Pesach and all the way through today.
Having 10 guys in a house overlooking the beach, a lot of learning and a lot of having fun. When all of Israel is under lockdown, I think our lockdown was the best one.
The guys returned from Netanya on Thursday night. And then Motzei Shabbos, Every last person in Yeshiva gathered together in the dining room in the kitchen, and we kashered the kitchen for Pesach as a group.
Everyone had their little areas. For myself, it was basically cleaning and being involved in the fact that we kashered a industrial kitchen overnight. Literally.
Sorting out silverware so we could kasher silverware, wiping down the tables and cleaning out the sinks. We had to grease cut all of the stainless steel counters and the sinks, and we had to turn things upside down, and we had to remove all the chametz from the kitchen, and we had to clean it out, and then we had to kasher a number of utensils to be able to cook. We had to blowtorch the stovetop.
Highlight of the year so far.
What'd you do?
I cleaned a table.
which I thought was pretty fun.
Every guy. We started at 8:30 on Motzei Shabbos, and about 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, we finished completely.
Where you go? Oh, is that?
We realized we were going to have to do the Pesach Seder in Yeshiva. I would come with my family, and we would do it in Yeshiva with the guys. We wanted it to be nice, we wanted it to be fancy, we wanted it to be Yantif. So here we were able to make an absolutely gorgeous Seder. People see pictures of this Seder. It looks like a Pesach hotel.
The cats did a fantastic job with the way the setup was. It went to 3:30 in the morning. I don't think anyone really minded.
Just between having everyone there, the fact that the Rebbeim made the effort to come actually made it feel like a real Seder with the family being there.
And once again, everybody really pulled together. The guys put in the effort. My wife and Mrs. Weinberg cooked food for the guys. The food was absolutely exquisite. We had the Seder, and the Seder was tremendous.
The Seder in Yeshiva was the best Seder I've had in my entire life.
And ultimately, obviously, Hallel and Nirtza were amazing. We ended at 3:30 in the morning.
We're used to having Pesach with either my family or my wife's family. It's the first time we had our own Pesach Seder. And you know that it's not either my or my wife's family, it's our family, namely the Yeshiva.
Guys pitched in. They cooked for second day Yantif, second Seder, Shabbos Chol Hamoed, 8th day Yantif, Shabbos HaGadol they had to make because the cook was not able to come in because of the regulations, and then the Shabbos immediately after Pesach.
The way that Yeshiva always been able to function over the years, every year the guys step up, but with Corona especially, guys did more than I ever imagined.
It couldn't happen any other way. Every person who I told that we stayed open, first off, they were unbelievably impressed with the guys, as they should be, as I have been.
It's a condensed full year in 2 months. When you have guys, after 2 months, looking like different people, you actually can see the growth. It's an amazing experience.
But they said it's tremendous physics.
Prayer became much more of a focus in people's lives. It became far more prevalent in their daily schedule.
Some people who know Derech Etz Chaim, one or two people said, of course Derech Etz Chaim stayed open.
They honestly care about the guys so much. I've never seen so much care and passion that goes towards the guys.
As my mother said, we're always told we're different, and we pride ourselves on that. And then once again, we're different, and we were one of the few yeshivas learning.
We have a setup which was unique to be able to keep the yeshiva open. We're a smaller yeshiva with a group of guys that had a group of parents that were ready to keep their guys here. The Rebbeim who lived right in the neighborhood were able to essentially semi-live in the yeshiva with the guys, and that's a very special opportunity.
If someone would have told me this hypothetical situation, would I have thought that DC would stay open? There is a very solid chance that I think that the yeshiva would have stayed open due to people being crazily insane. Yeah, actually not that surprised.
Here was a real opportunity to be a something and to do a something, which is not such a common thing. People don't always have such obvious opportunity.
In terms of yeshiva, I'm really happy with the result. I did not expect that this whole endeavor would be anywhere near as meaningful to my growth as it turned out to be.
It has worked out to be unbelievable. We were able to start the Zman essentially the day after Pesach. There's nobody coming back from America, so there's no reason to wait for a Rosh. There's no wait. We started right away. The davening has been tremendous. The learning has been tremendous. We changed night seders that the younger guys learn with the older guys, and that has become an incredible night seder, an incredibly strong seder. Looking back now, those who have stayed have seen very clearly it was the right choice. The yeshiva, with all the hard work we did, also sees very clearly that we made the right choice.